Obviously, we have issues. We're going to talk about them, but I need, before we get to the actual show, I have to just ask you a question. Steven, do you know what the original mythology of gargoyles is?
So I don't. So I'm just gonna give you like I think yeah. I've never like researched it,
Yeah,
but I would assume gargoyles are for some reason they guard for some they're protectors for
they're
some reason. I don't know that
gargoyles. Yeah.
they're gargoyles basically. Why we would make demonic looking figures be our guardians? Maybe because it's I don't even know where it originates from. Is it Ireland? Is it France? I'm not even sure where gargoyles originate from. So no, I actually don't know. I'm just gonna assume like they were to ward off evil spirits for some reason, but I just don't know the reason.
But like, okay, but as far as like a creature, right? Like when I think of gargoyles, obviously I think of the cartoon. But I also think of like horror movies from the 80s. There were a few in which there were gargoyles and like the Gremlin, Gremlins 2, they had the, the bat gremlin fly up, become stone, he becomes a gargoyle. And I always kind of like I pictured gargoyles as like I imagined it being an ancient like historical myth, like something that's been with us forever, where it's like, oh yeah, there are these creatures that are made of stone during the day, but at night they become flesh and they do one thing or another. Maybe they guard people, maybe they torment people, maybe they various things. I thought it was a real thing. It's not a real thing. Not that I thought they existed. Not that I thought they
But you
existed.
thought it was a real thing in history that they existed in the
Yes,
sense
well,
that
like in the sense
the
that I thought
this
people believed like, oh, this is the
the
thing,
thing that people did, yeah,
or
like
like,
a
oh,
pagan thing or maybe something like
yeah, like I thought maybe like in the freaking like like, oh, 82 AD people were like traumatized because they believed the gargoyle was flying around and it was a creature
mm,
of stone. But no, dude, like no, I mean of course there are various like stone golems and like different creatures that people have claimed to be afraid of throughout the years, but like gargoyles have Steve, do you know where the word gargoyle comes from?
I have no idea.
It's French for throat goat, Stephen. It's
Throat. So it is French in origin then.
it's French
Gargoyles
in
are
or yeah, yeah. It's French in or like yeah, it's basically le gargoyle is it's like for throat because they're made for various ducks to help the water escape from roofs and stuff. That's why they
got you.
have those mouths. I will say, Stephen, in doing research, trying to figure out what this was, because I was curious and I was just like, where's the first when was the first gargoyle slain? Is where my brain goes. My brain's like, oh yeah, show me the ancient slaying of gargoyles. Stephen, when I imagine a gargoyle, right? I think of something that's either like so okay, I'll say like humanoid or smaller. I don't think of like a giant beast.
No, I think like at most, like 7 foot tall. Like that'd be like the biggest gargoyle. That's like
What
Broadway. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Like
That's
yes, like 100%. I can imagine like nothing no one who wouldn't belong on the Justice League. You know what I mean? Like the
mhm.
shapes of the Justice League.
We're so far away from kaiju. It's not even close to kaiju. It is the
Yes.
Megazord would overcompensate a fleet of gargoyles. Like it'd be
What
way
yeah,
too much for them.
exactly, 100%. I will say though, the only I'm not saying it's the only one that exists. It's the only one I was able to find when I was looking for instances in which gargoyles were in the real world. There is a case from the 7th century in which a Saint Romanus supposedly slew a gargoyle, but they called it La Gargoyle, but it was basically a dragon. It was like it's a story that like was being spread by word
It,
of mouth. Where I mean, this is one of his miracles. You're supposed like in order for
I
your
played a gargoyle, and I'm the king. It was basically a dragon that turned into stone at night,
yeah, pretty
which
much.
fits none of the descriptors of gargoyles that we've ever had.
Yeah, and it's well, especially since it was a long neck serpent and all this, but supposedly, or according to him and the people who shared the story over and over and over throughout the years, it was it had this long neck and it was a serpent of sorts and it spat water at or, like to a dangerous degree where it would
Which
like
makes sense because of the gargoyles being drainage systems or
yes.
something like that.
Where,
That makes
well,
sense.
where it would flood cities and such. And the timing checks out that I've seen where it could be, I'm not saying it is, it could be that that story made its way through, through word of mouth, and people eventually were inspired to create the creatures on the rooftops to spit the water out. I don't think that's true, but the timing kind of works out because like that
Mm.
happened years ago. It was like 880 or something. It was like a long, long time ago. Uh, but the first time the story was written, like and actually recorded, was in the 1300s, which is still a significant time ago. Like that was a while ago.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very long time ago. So
But
it's still around like the mythos of when I think of things, like
yeah,
things that came from the past,
yeah. But dude, it's so interesting to do random research. But I don't know. I always think about that stuff where I'm like, what's the origin of a genie? What's the first time someone wished for something on a monkey's paw? Like I mean,
Mm.
it's so interesting because I'm not saying that I believe these things are real. I truly thought that there was a mythology behind gargoyles that just simply doesn't exist. Like no one believes that like we recently talked about leprechauns and such, and there are people who are like, yeah, oh, yeah, leprechauns are real. They're certainly real. No one's on board with gargoyles coming to life.
They're
They're
like,
just like,
no,
we
we
made
made
that up.
that up. We
Yeah.
just we just made that up. Do you think the first monkey paw, like they didn't know about how nerve endings can move after death? So like someone cut a hand off and made a wish, and then the hand curled, and they're like, "Oh my God, I made a wish." And it went horrible for me. Like this is a curse. This is a cursed object. But gargoyles are not real. Like I just want to let everyone know that.
I like the idea. I like the idea that someone chopped off the monkey's paw and then someone else was like, "Oh, I wish I had one of those." And he threw it to him and it went like,
It just, oh my
"Oh
God.
my God, I
Do it
don't want
again.
this."
Do it again. The other monkey's like, please,
Please,
please.
please, no more. I
Got
only
one
have so
left.
many of these. I have three hooks. Anyway, just much like that monkey, we have issues that we should actually talk about. So let's get to the show. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildpaw. Yeah, to
Every
the
week,
monkey
my best
paw.
friend Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles and monkey paws and gargoyles that life throws our way in order to get something done. Most recently, we've been working on a supernatural superhero culty comedy comic called Deathless. Oh my God, Steven. I mean, I listen, I feel like a used car salesman doing that sometimes, Steven.
Hey, everybody, why don't you step on
Hey,
up and
man, step on up here. I mean, Steven, tell the people who we are and why we do what we do and what we do.
Anthony and I have been besties since basically high school. We have failed many times to produce a comic book through our young adult lives
Yeah.
until the pandemic hit, and Anthony was like, basically, hey, let's start a podcast and let's use this podcast to keep us accountable to work on our first comic project that we're actually going to finish. And it worked. So we continue to do it, and now we're working on the fourth issue of our mini series Deathless, and we have already completed our issue Played Again, along with two issues of another comic that we do for another company. So we have been super fruitful and generated plenty of content since the pandemic. Would we like to have generated more? Of course.
Yeah.
But this is the journey we're on as two dads navigating adult life and making comic books.
Yeah, it's so interesting, dude, because like when we started the podcast, I mean, obviously I was in a really dark place. I was basically in a pit of despair after like a very bad breakup with my son's mom and like becoming a single dad and navigating those waters and feeling like just a loser in general and like I was never going to do anything. And now it's like I mean, obviously, we've shared so many crazy stories. If you've watched the show for a while, you've heard some like ridiculous dating stories and terrible
Mm-hmm.
horror stories and such. Set my hand on fire. Like so many things have happened in these
The
years since.
candle explosion.
Yeah, like so many things have happened since those years. But like I mean, now we're in a place where like we're working toward finishing our first graphic novel, like our real trade paperback. I got married this year,
That's
Stephen.
amazing.
I like like I feel like we're like really working towards something for the like we've been working towards something, but like I feel like it's a tangible thing now. Like I feel like we're here and I'm excited to share. But I will say, dude, and to all of you listening, we are about to launch our Kickstarter for issue 4 of Deathless. It is, I think, the coolest issue so far of this book.
Hmm.
I'm very excited for people to read this. That being said, I'm terrified that this thing's not going to get funded. I know I shouldn't be. I'm trying to be positive. So what I'm going to do, Stephen, is I think let's talk about like how we're going to make it funded. Like how we're going to make this successful and as successful as possible. What do you think we can do?
Um,
How many people do I have to just tie up and ransom off? Like, what do I
so
add? Does that work?
I think our good friends alone will get us pretty far along. I do, but to get it into new hands, it's so tricky because
Yeah.
Or X is probably the worst it's ever been in terms of self-promotion and using it as a means to reach other artists and people who are interested in the arts that we explore. Twitter has basically just become an entire cesspool
Yeah,
of
like you
course, every day there's a different tragedy in the world. It really has just progressively gotten crazier, and I get it. But yeah, so I get that worry.
yeah,
Um,
my
but I
fear.
think we just got
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say my fear with like social media and stuff is there are ways to be successful on it and to use it to market. And it's like a new kind of game. Like before it was like, hey, this is who I am and this is the kind of stuff I bring to the table. And if you're interested, I hope you'll share it. And then people would, and they'd be like, I like you, you're making me laugh or whatever. And they would share it and they'd support you and you'd build a little community. Now it's like there are little like they're little weird games to play, and it's like you have to manipulate things, and it's just it all feels very fake and like not, and it sucks.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
2020 Twitter, 2019 Twitter, 2021 Twitter. That was really was just a different time. And I'm one part of me wonders if it was the pandemic and more people were using these types of websites, or if it was like just a different era of the world. I don't even know. Because yeah, like it felt like everyone decided, at least when I joined Twitter and the people that
right,
I ended up becoming encircled with, it felt like everyone was producing art in different means, whether it was
right.
books or comics or this or music or that. And there really was this like community of just awesome people. Like even if they weren't like people you interacted with every day, it was really easy to just post something and interact with a bunch of cool people and then get stuff
Yeah.
rolling. And
Oh,
it is different now.
You know what's interesting? Like when you say that, it made me realize, you're right. I used to feel more like it was a big community of creators, and now what I
Mhm.
feel is it's kind of like splintered and niched off like a little bit more. Where I do see there's still a writing community of people of like novelists and people who are like aspiring novelists and people who are trying to get a book deal and trying to get an agent, whatever it may be. And there are like comic book creators and people who are like, I make comic books and this is what I do. And those are two completely different groups that have nothing to do with each other and both have their own respective like games and to play and
Mhm.
like rules to follow. And it's kind of like Kool-Aid to drink. And if you don't drink this Kool-Aid, you're not going to be rewarded by the algorithm of, the cult of the algorithm for that particular thing. And they're like,
Mhm.
hey, you have to like be one or the other. You're not allowed to like be a person with like, just who has multiple interests. You have to completely pare down and drink this Kool-Aid, or else you're not going to get anything. You're going to get like little sprays of their Kool-Aid, but they won't get whatever you're serving. And it sucks because I don't know. Before I felt like I could just be myself and it worked and I was like, enough people like these silly jokes I make and enough people want to see the books we're making and stuff,
Mhm.
and that was interesting and we can talk about our process and like just share our lives with people, and it was enough and it was fun. Now it's like, hey, tell me about your publishing deal or whatever, or like it's a lot of like like what Don't Make It Weird does, like the tickling the pickle, but of a particular career trajectory. But we don't do that. We're all about like, hey, what are we doing this week? This is what we're doing this week. We're trying our best and we share our lives and everything, but we don't try to like clickbait people, and like we don't
Yeah,
do
well, it's just because we've never been disingenuous, right? Like we've
yeah.
always just been us, and it is hard for me to be Mr.
I
Market like at all. Like I always feel because I'm someone who doesn't like to be like sold to. Like I even have
yeah.
a no solicitor sign on my door. Like I don't like it because like I it immediately puts me in a mood.
No, no, Steven, we were so alike in that. The other day, I had Atlas literally crying because, like laughing because we were just sitting on the couch together, and someone knocked on the door, and the dogs go crazy. I send the dogs outside. I open the door, and a man's standing there with a clipboard, and he's like, "Hi, can I?" And I said, "Steven, I literally just said, is my house on fire or anything?" He goes, "No." I was like, "I'm okay then. Thank you. Good luck." He's
Don't you
like,
guys have a no soliciting sign as well?
"Dude, we have a
Or was
sign.
that the event that caused the sign to
It's
be?
no, no, it's not a no soliciting sign. We have our dogs are crazy. Please just don't knock on our door. Like if we didn't invite you over, like come on, you're not invited. Like stop it. Don't touch our door. But we should. It sucks. We should just put a big sign that just says don't. Just don't. Just no.
I will say, ever since I glued, because I have like that screen door,
Yeah.
like before my front door, ever since I glued that no soliciting sign on there, it's been so awesome. Like I get no one knocking on my door,
Oh,
like ever, and it's wonderful.
yeah.
Because I am, and I'm sure people listening, you're the same way. I am not someone who necessarily needs to be sold to because like. When I want something, I go get the thing I want, and then I have the thing I want, and then you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that simple.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Um,
The only ads that have ever worked for me and will ever work for me are food ads. That's
yeah,
it. That's it.
food can get me.
I'm not gonna lie.
Domino's is a bitch. I just
If
gotta say that.
if I see a delicious food ad, I'm like, yeah, I kind of want that food now. Like it just that happens. I get it. That's the only one. I'm like, you can sell my stomach because it is the most base part of me and it needs it. But like the rest of me,
It's
no. Like I hate it.
dude, one time I ordered it was a while ago. I ordered Domino's for lunch like on a weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
And Domino's, my app, had the audacity to send me a push alert around 7 o'clock that night asking if I was vibing some more Domino's. And I'm
That's
like, this is wild, sir. I ordered you. I did the thing. Why are
yeah.
you trying to sell me dinner too? Like, who's eating pizza like that? And
Ugh.
who's not having leftover pizza from the previous moment to not eat at 7? Like,
So anyway, I ordered pizza again. No,
so yeah,
no.
so I mean, of course, I didn't get lava cakes earlier, so I had to get some of those.
But I know what you mean, dude, and it sucks because just feeling that like used car salesman like weird like
Hmm.
sliminess of like, hey, step in and buy a box. There's something for everyone. There's not something for everyone. It's something for people who like supernatural action comedies. Like if you like to laugh and blah, 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 like it sucks trying to come up with a sales pitch for something isn't for everyone, but it's hard to find the anyone. Like it's hard to
Hmm.
find that audience. Like right now, if you're watching this, our actually, well, yeah, if you're watching this right now, our pre-launch page is up. We have 22 people ready to, who like click the remind me on launch button, which is awesome. It's I'm so thankful for all 22 of you, but like I really want to see 100 people there. I want to see
If
more
this will
people.
reassure you, as someone who like always like helps his friends when he sees in Ken, I
Yeah.
am someone who has never clicked to notify me on launch. I'm
Yeah,
just that kind of person.
I
So I
know.
mean, don't fully use that as a means to prove or disprove whether we're going to have the backers, because also we have to consider like the Facebook, like the
Yeah.
family and old friends that were like close to us, this and that. Like those things will come in for sure. Like I'm not necessarily worried about reaching our goal as much as it's reaching a lot of people. That's I think is the problem, right? Because I think issue 3 it was awesome because we
Dude,
didn't have
but
to ship as much, but
yeah,
it
but we did
was
not get as many backers. And that's what scares me is like each one has gone down slightly. And I'm just like, and I understand things happen in the world. It's been, years through different issues and different things are happening. And we've pitched it or, launched our Kickstarter at various times. And sometimes it hasn't been as smart. Like the last one we did kind of pitch closer to Christmas, which,
yes. I was gonna say there's been a couple Kickstarters where it's been more towards Christmas time, and those ones do seem to struggle with the numbers.
yeah,
But the spring ones tend, I think we'll be okay. I know you're
Yeah.
worried. I know you're worried. You're worried, Wart.
Oh, dude,
Um,
that's why I said I'm trying to focus on like what we can do to make it good, you know?
I
Uh,
think we have to really lean into the Barreled aspect of it because Barreled's very much heavily in this issue. This is the character that was, everyone's like, I mean, everyone was loving on Barreled issue one. He was literally not present for almost two whole issues after
mhm.
that. Granted, he does, make a
Yeah,
surprise appearance at the end of issue three, but issue four is very barreled heavy, and then issue five is all barreled. So, I mean,
yeah,
I think the people are gonna like it. I think once we can actually like I don't know. I think barrel marketing on the barreled side of things is going to definitely help it. And
yeah,
then, like I said, I know we have so many friends and people who are going to step up and help us and get us over that line. I'm confident of that.
yeah.
So just don't
Um,
be worried. We got this.
okay, so as far as the video is concerned, right? What do you think we should do this time? Should we do like because I did start setting up a file where it's like kind of like flashing images of like the comic and the story and all this. Should we do like a voiceover? Should I just read the like what the book is and just show
I
pages?
still think we
Or
should maybe we should still do like a song like we were kind of talking about, like just like do like our own little like riff or something like that, and like
okay, do you want to? Well, do you
edit
want to?
some panels in.
Okay, because I can do all of the editing because I have it all set up already on the actually.
I think a narration while that's happening though, but like maybe like something like cool, like not just like us, hello, it's
Yeah,
us on the podcast type, but like maybe like an actual like video. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I think what I'm gonna do is I'll just do like a movie voice and kind of
Mm.
read the like, just the plot kind of like as pictures are being shown. What kind of music should we have in the background? Like, should we have like rock music? Like, could we do you have like a song that you
What
could send?
if like what if we did like a little like a he's here, right? Like
Okay.
show like
Ooh, I like that. I like this.
a panel or so from like when he was just a teddy bear with like some baby like the glockenspiel
Uh-huh.
music, and then it's like the riff that's going to be in the guitar work, but like a dun, dun, dun,
Right.
dun, 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 and showing the bear, and then like a flash, and then he's here, and then dun, dun, and then it's just
And it just
barreled and
shows
like
barrel.
different.
Ah, I
Yeah,
like that. I like that a lot. All right. Do you think you could put that
yeah.
music together
I'll
this
I'll put that
week?
music this week. This weekend I'll try to get it to you by like Saturday because I think
Awesome. Because then I can finish.
Tina works this Saturday and we don't have D&D, so
Yeah.
I'll be home.
Heck
So
yeah. All right. So yeah, if you do the song this Saturday, I can put the whole video together and I'll finish it by Sunday as long as I get but I like that
mhm.
idea. So I'll start it with that with the baby barrel becoming barreled and then I'll cut back into like what I have now where it's like the story of Deathless and then that'll be it and we'll show and I also show all of the like all of the rewards and all of the various tiers and stuff and the
Yep, that
boxes.
works.
And by then we'll have the foil cover too, which like
Yes,
I think
that which is almost done. I was hoping to get it done before we did the podcast, but I just wasn't.
heck yeah.
Coloring's
Um,
always tedious.
all
I don't
right,
know
I
if you
like
know,
that.
but another thing I did this week, by the way, what I did this week, ladies and
Yeah, yeah, what you
gentlemen,
did?
how accomplished we were.
Yeah,
Um, I got the last page entirely roughed, and then I got the foil cover basically done, just coloring it now.
it looks
And
so good.
then,
I love
yeah,
that.
so I mean, and then all I have to do is the t-shirt design and ink that page. But
Yeah,
I also started organizing my man cave, and I have all the issues between these drawers now, which by the way, this drawer is all issue two, by the way.
nice.
But
So
yeah, we have quite a bit actually, dude.
yeah,
Like we have issue three and issue one are less than issue two, but we
yeah,
have a good amount. We have like
nice,
maybe I don't know, at least 30 or something like that of each,
sweet,
something crazy like that.
awesome. That'll
Um,
definitely help with
we
like
don't have
some.
any played against though, just so you
No,
know. There's like
yeah,
zero copies of that.
yeah, I know. I had
I
to.
think like I think, like I said before, I think what we need to do is just fill out that 50-page limit and use that as a test run for
Yeah,
our Amazon graphic novel. So maybe just throw play together on Amazon as a print
yeah,
on demand.
we should.
Instead of printing our own copies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. No, I like that, and like the idea of the video and you making music for it makes me feel a little better about it.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. I think we can do this. If you're excited for Deathless, go click the link below and hit the, remind me on launch. Or if you're not the type of person to click the notify me on launch, but you are still interested, comment below on the YouTube and it would mean everything to us. Just let us know that you're going to show up and please do, please, please share our links with everyone you can. I know it's like, everyone kind of feels like, I don't matter. My aunt isn't gonna buy anything. Not true. I can't tell you how many people like Steven has like aunts who have supported every
Aunt
single.
Lori is
Aunt
the
Lori shows up for our podcast and our
Mhm.
Kickstarters. You never know who that person's going to be, and like
You
we're
don't.
thankful that we have a whole colony of people who have been showing up for us, and we really just want you to know that we appreciate you and we freaking love you. We can't wait to see who shows up for us for issue 4. Speaking of the colony, Stephen, we do have a few questions from the colony. If you'd
Ooh.
like to give us a sweet, sweet.
Gather round the campfire, ladies and gentlemen. We got some questions to answer for you. You haven't told us that you had any questions, but we demand to answer them for you because it's questions from the colony with Stephen and Anthony. We're gonna get them all answered for you, even if you don't have them. Questions from the colony.
Questions from the colony. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. But if not, you're still welcome to hang out with us and listen to our ridiculous answers to these very silly and sincere questions. Every once in a while, we offer the whole world an opportunity to ask us whatever the heck they want. And this week, the world asked us a few questions. Let's see. The first one we have is from Scott A. Butler. These are all from X/Twitter.
Mhm.
It says, if a monster wrote a screenplay about the universe while sitting through a midlife crisis, would the movie be considered a masterpiece of drawing from personal experience, or would Anthony just give it a bad review for having too many plot holes? I don't give bad reviews. I love everything. No, what do you think?
Anthony loves some really bad stuff. So I
I
think
do.
that Anthony would give it a good review, but then he'd be like, "But seriously, if you're this monster, why are you doing this? Like, what's up with that?" No, I'm just kidding. No,
I
I
think
think
Anthony would become Seinfeld.
yeah. What's the deal with claws? Some have them, some don't.
Oh my God. But yeah, I think it could be a masterpiece. I mean, I feel like as humans, we often make, I mean, I know I'm very guilty of it, as obviously I make all semi-autobiographical stories mostly about monsters. So hopefully they're masterpieces full of plot holes. I don't know. We'll see. But let's see. We have some other questions. We have KT Carlisle. Carly Lafusi asks us, for writing, do you think storytelling is something that can be taught or learned? What do you think, Stephen?
I truly believe, and maybe I'm giving society too much credit, but I truly believe in our heart of hearts, as much as it feeds the soul to eat good food, I feel every human is capable of being a storyteller because I feel like it's literally ingrained in who we are as the beings that we are. I feel like storytelling is a pastime, even if you don't think you do well at it, or you don't think you're as good as someone else who is a storyteller. Everyone has that desire to listen and absorb and want to be that. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe that. I don't know. That's I do. I do.
No,
I think everyone is capable of being a storyteller.
yeah, I'm with you. I think very much so that
Whether,
the world, we are TV is essentially our campfire, and we sit around it and we
yeah.
share our tales and we absorb the tales of others, and we relate and connect through that. And I think like basically similarly to what you're saying, I think we all have stories to tell. Whether or not we can communicate them in a way that
Yes.
palatable to whatever modern audience or whatever audience we may find, that's a different story. But then again,
Some
not
people are better at stacking the words in an order that other people like to read them, right?
exactly. I
But
mean,
like I think watching shows though, I think it's a really good example of why I think everyone's a storyteller.
mhm.
When you're watching a television show, everyone has theories on what's happening. Everyone's telling their own story of what they think is going to be because they naturally like follow narratives and want to create narratives that they think they understand with a situation. Like and that's everybody. Everybody tries to guess what's going to happen by the end of the season.
I will say, I've noticed the modern shift, and I know it's going to make me sound old, and I'm okay with it. I'm fine. I've made peace with who I am, and I shake my fist at the clouds sometimes. But Steven, I will say I noticed a modern shift that makes me laugh a lot where it's like people and it's nice that people explore various meanings and want to understand like subtext or the intention or whatever it may be. But I find a lot of people watch like, hey, what did that mean at the end? Like rather than sitting with it and digesting what something was, they're like, I'm gonna go watch this 30-minute YouTube video about this. Oh, it's a 3-hour YouTube documentary about the meaning of this hour and a half movie. I'm gonna go watch that. And it just makes me laugh because I can't like, can you imagine like an actual campfire where like we're sitting down and we tell a story, but then there's a smaller campfire to the right where where like one person sits around telling the story about what that story meant to
Like
them. It's
why the red door had significance and
yeah,
how
it's so
there's totally six more episodes coming because the all these hints at Vecna. I mean, but
yeah.
no, but seriously, I get it, dude. I get it.
It's really interesting, but I totally agree with you though. I think we all are storytellers at heart because as much as we want to be like it's cliche and stupid and blah blah blah. Everyone's the hero of their own story, no matter what what you're doing. We all want something. We all have obstacles in our way that stop us or try to prevent us from getting to the things that we want, no matter what it is. Like I would like more coffee. I'm out of coffee. The obstacle is I'm doing this. No, I'm kidding. But like there's always something, so there's always a story to be told. And I think like just like what you said, I think we are all storytellers to
I
various.
mean, at the very least, I mean, the bottom rung of the society, like people who cheat, man, they come up with some pretty impressive stories about what
Yeah.
where they were and what they were doing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, I don't think anyone really gives credit to how much we all are naturally storytellers. It's just like, yeah, some people are more successful at it and make money on it with it. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so Carly also asked, as far as philosophy is concerned, are people capable of change, or do you think that they mostly just stay who they are at their core?
I think people can make changes, but like I get with the whole like who they are at their core, but like who's saying that? Who's saying who they are at their core? Like who
Well,
is
and
who is defining what that core is
that's what
and
I was going to ask you. So, like, what core? Because like you're saying who you are. So, first of all, what defines us as a whole is the core that I have the same as the core that I had when I was 8? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Mhm.
And if not, what does that tell you about a core if it
Now,
exists
do I
already?
think a liar will never lie again? No, like if someone is like a consistent liar, they're more than likely going to lie again. But like I don't know, like I think Tina and I are a pretty good example of this because
Mhm.
I've literally been with Tina my entire adult life, and
Right.
I, Steven, am completely different than who I was when I started dating Tina. And the things that, we would battle about early in our relationship and have disagreements on, I did change and
Right.
alter and make better. So yes, I do. I mean, I am someone who's lived that, and that's because my relationship with her has been so long that I can actually weigh against those things that like I have altered who I am as a person for the betterment of my relationship because this relationship matters to me. But yeah, I
100%.
think that's the key though, right? I think for someone to change it, the whole rock bottom idea, like I think there has to be a purpose for the change, right? Like there
Right.
has to be like something that
That's fair.
they're fighting for. Like
Well, I
they
mean,
have to
yeah,
go against what they're who they are as a person to
I
create
yeah,
it.
well, I think I mean, for me at least, it's one of those, there has to be an intention there.
Hmm.
Like you have to like not necessarily you have to be broken in order to reconfigure the pieces, but you have to deliberately try to mold what you have been into something that you can be. And like I've definitely recognized various things in myself. I mean, I was as a younger person, I was very combative, and like I was way more judgmental. I had a way shorter fuse with people. I was one of those like I was very intolerant of just idiocy, basically. I was just like or
Hmm.
what I perceived as a certain type of ignorance. I was like I don't. And I would battle with people on the internet, or I would argue with people in person, and now I'm at the point where like I recognize like a multitude of perspectives, and I'm just like That's fine.
I
They're
don't need to. I don't, everything doesn't need to be a competition.
exactly. I
Um,
don't, yeah, I don't, I like their reality doesn't dictate what my reality is, nor
mhm,
does it create any filters through which I have to view the world, you know? So it's like people are, entitled or not, who cares about entitled, but people have various realities that they're living in at any given time, and that's
mhm,
fine. I don't care.
mhm.
But yeah, so like my life in general has shifted. I've been like way more pleasant generally speaking. I've been trying to I've in the past like I don't know 10, 15 years tried to be like more positive, like overall like I'm less cynical, I try
Mm,
to see even though like yeah, of course, like I get cut off in traffic just like anyone else, but like I do generally feel like people are well-intentioned and decent for the most part. Obviously, there are always going to be,
there's plenty of savages in this
plenty
world,
of
but
savages in the world, but like that, yeah. But that being said, there are just various levels of like a passion or an ignorance that they cultivated, over time through various endeavors that they are still, troubled by. And I don't know. I've survived so much quicksand that I'm just like, all right, well, I've adapted to that. I basically have
mhm.
like gills at this point. So it's yeah. I feel like
it's
we
it's
do.
one of those things where like I think people are capable of change, but I understand like almost the jaded perspective of can
Right.
people really change? I get it because more than likely you're right, it's probably not going to happen, but
Right.
I do think people are capable. People are capable of anything, really. The human will is pretty powerful as
Yeah.
long as you tap into it and use it for what you need to use it for, It's just
Yeah.
that simple.
I mean, I guess we'll find out when zombies come or
Yeah.
aliens, and see how people change then. No, I'm kidding. So, okay, Carly's last question was, is mayonnaise an instrument, Steven? Is mayonnaise an instrument?
I'm pretty sure I seen a guy there's a guy that tries to create effects pedals through things, and I've seen him put the prongs into mayonnaise, and it has like a whoa, whoa, whoa sound. So yes, mayonnaise is in fact an instrument.
I love that so much. Okay, our next question comes from Mel de Silva, and they ask, "Have a what is the meaning of life?" type question. Okay, so Steven, what is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life to me, genuinely, and this is not, me being like Mr. Disney or anything like that. Like the meaning of life to me truly is to spend time and cater to the ones that you love most and to create as much happiness and beauty with those around you as you possibly can. Not in hopes that everything will get better, but just knowing that like that's what else can you really do, right? I
Well,
mean,
I
like you
also
just
feel like it's inevitable given that structure. And I know
Mhm.
people, but someone's gonna be like, I bet I can prove that wrong. You can't. You really can't.
Mhm.
Like you simply can't. Like if you're doing the best you can do in your situation, yes, you might also suffer, but you are going to have
Yep.
improvements in your life one way or another. You know
And
what
I
I
just yeah, and I just do my best to be in service, joyfully in service to those closest to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
mean?
I just try to promote as much, happy as I can.
I think that's I mean it's my favorite perspective, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Just it goes beyond just like doing unto others. Like I mean that's part of it too, but it's just like I feel like I feel it's like the whole smiling thing. Like, if you smile, people are more likely to smile as well. And it's like a distributed causality, like the butterfly effect, like
Hmm.
yeah, if that person's having a bad day because their car broke down, but if I stop and I jump at their car, now they see there's someone who's willing to help, then maybe they're a little bit happier, and maybe also they're a person who's like, wait, why am I not sometimes the person who's willing to help? Maybe I will be, and then you pay it forward and such. I think for me that's the only way to live.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it is really.
Sorry, Mel De Silva asked, "How do you overcome self-doubt after receiving loads of querying rejections, despite improving the following or in following the core advice that people tend to give for those sort of things?" So, how do you like? What kind of how do you overcome self-doubt when you have rejections? Like for us, like with our books, we see there's like a downward slope. Like
Mhm.
trajectory seems to be going down as far as Kickstarters, and yes, there are reasons, but maybe that's part of it. Maybe like recognizing what those things are that we could improve upon. But what do you think?
I don't. So in terms of the question, like, I think defining yourself and identifying what you feel you create and what's your voice is what's going to matter the most. 'Cause, like,
Yep.
I can't tell you how many things you see in Hollywood, even, or even in certain like books and things, like, oh, no one wanted to get this made, but this person just really believed in this story, or
Yep.
this person. Like, think of like James Gunn, for example.
Yep.
He was like, director of like trauma movies, right? Like,
Hmm.
and like nothing, not nothing movies, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he definitely had his talent then, but
Right.
no one appreciated his talent on a wide scale, right? But like, in retrospect, with him breaking into the MCU with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and now like the Superman and DC universe, like, that is a man who tells a story a certain way and understands like the found family dynamic of like characters, and like, because like, I can tell when it's a James Gunn movie just by the way it's done, like the way the effects are done, the way the backgrounds look, the way everything feels, like it has its own feel. And the Guardians trilogy is the best MCU trilogy in my opinion, and I like the start of the new DCU. But like, what I'm getting at is James Gunn was nobody, and he has like completely has his own storytelling style and who he is, and just leans into it and creates it. And I mean, you can go on any like Facebook group now and just see all the hate that his current DC universe
Oh
is
yeah, of
getting from
course.
like Snyder fans and things like that. Like, there's always going to be people that tell you that your art is not good,
Right.
but you just have to really define who you are and what you bring to the table. Because like, I'll be honest, as an artist, I hate like my art like 99% of it. Like, when you live in a world where you can look up and see
Right. Oh God.
everyone doing all these crazy
Yeah.
things in like 5-second videos, like, it really is, it's diminishing of your own like craft. But you really just have to accept, like, hey, no, this is a Stephen Todd, this is what I draw, this is how I draw. Someone's gonna like it, and if not, I still want to complete this thing, and I want to create this story because this story or these characters mean something to me, and hopefully my passion for these things will resonate with other people. That's
Yeah.
how I would get through it, like, personally, and that's how
Dude,
I get through it.
I
So,
I think that's so smart and it's such good advice and it's the thing and it's something I struggle with and
mhm.
I kind of love that Carly and I my wife and I have like a good balance of this because she's really smart and really fantastic when it comes to these exact things to recognizing the patterns and the various like the cookie cutter situations that people want to put you in and knowing when to use them and when
Mhm.
to avoid them. Whereas I have always been like a contrarian sort of person, and I'm just like when I see, like the when Mel De Silva says, people say applying critique feedback. I don't care what people think of my stories. Like I very much, I sincerely want people to relate to the things I write. So like I want people to connect with the stories that we're telling. But that being said, if someone's like, "Hey, you know what you should do?" I'm like, "Not listen to you and whatever is
No,
about to
yeah.
come out of your mouth." Like I'm
Not listen
not,
to your fat ass.
yeah, like it's what that's from a Kevin James stand-up. If anyone
Yeah,
doesn't know.
yeah. Just so you know, yeah. Like,
Um,
anyways.
but. But yeah, it's just it's a situation where yes, there are things that people will say that are important. If you hear enough complaints that like, hey, the dialogue doesn't make sense in this part, maybe look at that dialogue and make sure it makes sense. And if it makes
And
sense
if
to you,
it still makes sense to you, then no, fuck them. Like, this is your story. It's not their
one
story.
100%. Now, like no matter how you feel about any given filmmaker or writer or whatever it may be, there are so many examples of people who create things that don't work in the real world. Like it's like okay, like Juno is a perfect example of this. This movie won Oscars. No one speaks the way anyone in that movie speaks at all. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Similarly, every Tarantino movie is just littered with characters who speak in ways that don't make any sense. And you can tell it's literally just Quentin Tarantino in a sandbox playing with his like actor toys. And they all
Mm.
sound kind of similar but not, but also like him but not. And it's unique to his voice where you could easily imagine someone whittling that away and killing the spirit of that thing.
Hmm.
So I feel like like what Steven's saying is, basically like recognize what the spirit of your work is and
Hmm.
tell it in a way that only you can, and then you're basically undeniable. It's
Yeah.
something that will succeed no matter what, and very much feel like we just answered our own question of how we're gonna make our Kickstarter work. Steven, be undeniable. We got this. No, no,
We
no.
got this.
We do though. I do stand by that, and I think you're right, Stephen. I think that's good advice for this person. Is just recognize what your work really is and is supposed to be, and make sure it
And
is
then
that.
fight for it tooth and nail. Fight for your spirit. Fight for your identity in it, because that's what art is. Like that's why art has value. Is because the person that created it is the person that created it, and that's
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no one that can replicate it. So
exactly. All right, perfect. Our good friend Daily Downing asks,
daily.
she said she spent the last couple days watching way too much Expedition Unknown, so she wants to know which would you rather hunt for, Stephen, Lost Pirate Treasure or the Tomb of Cleopatra?
Ooh, lost pirate treasure sounds more fun
I
than
I, I agree,
sand.
and I will
I
say
feel either way we're dealing with sand,
with sand,
but one
I
has a
will
lot more.
I will say I feel like we're more likely to find random pirate treasure, even if it's not the one we were searching for. Whereas like the Tomb of Cleopatra, if we found it, would probably have already been ransacked, thousands of years ago.
Completely.
We were like, ah, there's
Not to
nothing here.
mention, like, I'm watching like One Piece, so like,
Right.
yeah, we're gonna start our own pirate crew and
I would love that.
hopefully find some fruit that make
Oh,
gives us power.
it's some
And
yo-ho. I love this. I can't wait. I'm mad if we don't.
absolutely.
We're pirates now, Steven. Um, So, all right, our friend Fowler Jones asks, "What are you currently reading
Hello.
in enjoyment? And if you could pick one book to be adapted for TV or movie, what would you pick, and what role would you like to have in its creation? So,
What do
what
I
are you
have?
currently reading?
But I'm actually not currently reading anything, but I did start something, but I can't remember. Yeah, I've been so busy drawing, so like
Oh
I
God,
work and then
I'll tell you,
uh,
I'm currently reading Waterdeep Dragon Heist, the D&D manual.
yeah, I guess we could say
That's
that,
that's
huh?
all I've been reading lately. I'm trying to like familiarize myself with the entirety of the or as much of the book as I can, so I can like pepper things in and do the it'd be a good DM, or at least like to the best of my ability. We did play last week and it was a lot of fun. It was our
Hmm.
first time
And my
playing Waterdeep.
character is pretty badass.
Dude, I love your character so like I love everyone's characters, but like your relationship with Carly's character is
Uh,
so good. Like it works so
it
perfectly. I
and
was like,
we
oh,
and Carly and I didn't even plan it.
not at all.
We
It's the
both
best.
ended up having to be like we found out we were both tieflings. We're like, oh yeah, let's roll with this.
Yeah, it was so good. And you guys just naturally, I mean, dude, I've never, I mean, obviously I'm so happy with my wife. I'm married.
Mm,
So, like, but like, I've never felt like this where I'm just like, oh my God, like the person I'm with loves my friends as much as I do. And they
mm.
might even like her more than they like me. I love this. I was like, I
It's so
love this.
great.
I
Tina and her like FaceTime for
yeah,
hours and stuff like that.
yeah.
It's great.
She
It's
tells me
wonderful.
things
It's the dream.
yeah, she's like, "Oh, Tina told me blah blah blah." I was like, "I didn't know that." Oh my God, you're such good friends with Tina. I love that, and it like warms my freaking heart. It makes me
It's
so
so
happy.
great, dude. It's
Um,
literally the thing that we were hoping for, and it happened.
yeah, just like all of life is just I like it's everything's coming up Millhouse. It's
Mhm.
working. I should have more faith in this Kickstarter because it's going to work, Steven. So okay, this is a good one. He asked if you could pick one book to be adapted to TV or movie, what would you pick?
Ooh, I feel like most of the books I've read have been done, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna be a smartass.
Okay, I like it.
No, I don't know. What would you say? How about we'll go with you first?
Um, the Amory Wars. No, I'm kidding.
No, that would be great.
That would be cool. I'm gonna say okay, one of two things. I'm gonna say Madman would be cool,
Hmm.
graphic novel, like comics, cheating, and then the second one I just thought of this book, The Thief of Always. It's literally it was written by Clive Barker. It was the book that got me interested in like books, really. Like I was very much one of those kids. I was like Goosebumps sometimes. Like I was like, all right, Goosebumps,
Hmm.
but like I also grew up watching Tales from the Crypt. So I like, when I looked at Goosebumps, it was like, this is goofy,
This
you
is
know.
watered down Tales from
This
the
is
Crypt.
exactly. But like The Thief of Always had like a music to it. I know that sounds corny, but it does. It's like it's really well written. It's really cool. It's unique, and it made me feel like because we are always kind of like throwing ourselves into stories and imagining like, oh, what would it be like if this happened to
Mm.
me? And because I was always a kid where I was like, looking outside and being like, oh, I wish I could go somewhere else and do other things and blah blah blah. And like this is just like, what if you were swept into this dark fantasy world with like vampires and monsters and stuff? And it's like, I love this. So
This is
it would
that's
be really
pretty
cool.
sick. Comic wise, I would love Uncanny X-Force to be done, but like I just know also as a comic fan, like there is so much stuff that would have
Yeah,
to be set up for that to even work.
yeah.
That is one thing about like long continuity, like Marvel DC. Like it does suck, but other times it allows you to just create characters in this sandbox that have
Yeah.
all these different histories that work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
but I love the themes in that. I love the nature versus nurture themes in that particular book. But I know I'll never see it as a movie. There's no way. There's no way that
No
ever
way.
gets done. It's just an
No
impossibility.
way. It might be like an animated movie. Like
Yeah,
I can see
maybe.
that happening. But no, but that's a good one, dude. All right, our last question is what program? Yeah. Our last question is from Sam V. Hi, Sam. Thank you so much for watching our show and being so freaking supportive and awesome. Sam made a really funny review video on Instagram about table scraps, and it was so good, dude. It like made my day. I just like it's so nice when people actually read that freaking book because I'm like,
Hmm.
I
And
don't
just
know.
drop love.
Yeah, because I'm really bad at marketing it, and I just like I forget to share that I even wrote a book with people. So like when someone reads it and they care about it and it like connects with them, I'm like I love it. Anyway, Sam's awesome. She asked, what program do you draw and color with?
So
What do you use?
currently, since I have an iPad, I actually just use Procreate.
Yeah,
And I'm not really fancy with it. Like, I use the technical pen, I think is what I
right.
use. And then for lighting, I use the light brush. And then for like the like electricity effects, I use light brush. And then for like certain my favorite texture to really use because it really covers a lot is
Mm,
I like to use the snow gum for the it's like a bush pedal effect kind of,
yeah.
but I use it as an eraser tool and I
Mm,
color things pitch black and then remove black with the snow gum. That's how I kind of create
yeah.
Beryl's fur and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I just use Procreate and I know I could be using a lot more pens and brushes
Yeah.
better, but I
Eh,
just stick to the technical pen and then like adjust my weights and as
yeah.
I'm doing it. Um Procreate out of like when I did download Photoshop for iPad to try it out and if you have an iPad, Procreate is definitely the program to use.
Yeah.
It's because it's the in-house program and it communicates so well with the device. So that's what I use currently.
Yeah. Ugh, I have this little notepad and I use this MetaPen and I use Clip Studio Paint to color, and but I use it for everything. I love Clip Studio Paint.
Hmm.
It's my favorite program. I don't know. I mostly just use they call it like the real G pen, but
Hmm.
it look I don't know. That's my
We all have the one we like because there's some that just have like different. I don't know, but yeah,
yeah.
technical is what I use.
Yeah,
This is
but that's what we use. Otherwise, Steven, at the end of every show, we always talk about what we're gonna do this week. This is our last chance to to touch up our Kickstarter, unless we're gonna push it another week. I don't think we have to. I feel like we
I
can
don't
get
think we
it.
have to.
I think we got this. I think
It's the
next
furthest we've
Wednesday.
ever been. It's the furthest we've ever
Yeah,
been along on
yeah.
any
I,
comic book to launch a
okay.
Kickstarter.
So in order to launch on Wednesday, right? The things I need from you are a t-shirt design and that
Hmm.
foil and a
The foil
song. So that's kind of a
and the
lot to
song.
ask of you for.
I can do that. I'll like the
It's a
foil's
week,
almost done.
basically.
I'll just slow up on the the final page and just
Yeah,
finish the shirt and the song really. So
yeah. I mean, if you could do that, I will make the whole video and like finish. I have to do like the narration and stuff. I think it'll be good though.
hmm.
I'm excited for it. Try to okay. So for the song, whatever you want to do, I trust you completely. Just I think we should probably keep it like a minute and a half. Like no longer than 2 minutes
Minute
for
and
the
a
video.
half.
You know what I mean? Like no longer than
Hmm.
I'd say 2 minutes max. Because like I feel like we're just gonna like I don't know. We'll overstay our welcome if we don't. So I feel like we should keep
Hmm.
it like short and sweet and like punchy. You
Might
know?
not even need to be that long. I think we can just
Oh
use it
no.
for like the barreled idea trailer too, like the
Yeah.
glockenspiel into the riff with the idea that here's some panels of like barreled
Yeah.
being barreled, and then
And
then
then
into whatever spiel you want to go into,
yeah,
and that's it.
I think I'm basically going to just read the the plot, the synopsis of what it is, where it's like, Deathless is a
Mhm.
supernatural superhero, comic or blah blah blah, and just like read and talk about it's just like 2 paragraphs. So I think it's definitely within like a 40-second, pitch. So I think if we're like, oh, he's here and we just show like, Beryl and there's cool music and there are cool pictures, then we can go into that real quick and say then there are cool rewards and we're done and we're out.
Yep.
I think that'll be good. And I think it'll be our best video. We still haven't talked about any stretch goals. I forgot all about them, honestly.
Let's
Because I
one day at a time. One
yeah,
day at a
yeah.
time. Once
All
the
right.
Kickstarter launches, we'll see what stretch goals we can,
That's true.
muster.
We could always add them and like just see what happens. Before we go, do you have any ideas for like early launch stuff? So like sometimes people are like, "Oh, if you or like the first 15 people can get this or the first like 20 people can get this." Is there anything you think we should add or like make like less expensive for like the first like early bird special or anything
Hmm.
like that?
Well, if it, early birds will probably be people that have been following
Right.
us since the first issue, so maybe just like a discounted price on the single issue of it or something like that.
Maybe. I'm that's true because they don't need the ketchup. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
true. Maybe we'll do like
Or
a
discount price on the hollow foils because those are usually more expensive.
yeah.
Like if they're
Oh,
early
that's
bird, and
true.
then I don't.
That's true. Maybe we'll do like 15 or like 10 hollow foils at an early bird rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, or rate and then
Hmm.
not rating. And then we'll do like the rest of them at regular price. And then we'll do like an early bird special on individual like issue 4 physical copies,
Single copies,
like
yeah. That
single
way,
copy.
the first few people that are going in there because they already have issues 1 through 3.
Right. Right.
You're giving them some love. So
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I like that. All right, we've been going for a while, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for
thank
listening.
you.
Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for caring about anything that we ever do. And if you
Thank you
don't,
for asking questions. We love
yeah,
that. Like,
we
thank you for
do.
just being our friends.
Yeah, thank you so much. It really means everything to us. This is our last week to work as hard as we can toward getting this Kickstarter launched, and then we're going to basically be, doing the hey, go over there and go purchase our
Love us, love
love us.
us.
Show us how you love us. But anyway, I really am just thankful that anyone's along for this weird, silly ride that we're on, and I love you, Steven. I'm excited for this
I love you
Kickstarter.
too, dude.
I think we're gonna nail it. I'm just, you know how I am. I'm always like this. I'm always just tightly wound monster, but in a good
And
way.
then the next Kickstarter is going to be even better because we can literally pitch it as the final. You can get all the issues. People will be. I think we can get a lot of people on board for the fifth
I
issue.
can't,
So
dude. I can't wait. All right, dude. I love you, but
I love you too.
until next time, I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week. Oh my God. So
She tries to steal the boom, but we're not there yet. So she hits the button.
I I want people to
Hi, Tina.
hi Tina. Oh.
Hey, Mr. Fisher.
Hi.
How are
Oh.
you?
I'm good. You can't hear me, can you?
I kind of can,
You
yeah.
kind of hear me? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. What's up? You just saying hi?
Yeah, I just
She's
got home.
loving on me, doting on me.
Cute, cute, cute. Oh, oh my God,
Okay,
you guys are
I'll
so
leave you
cute.
through it.
Love you.
I love you. I'll see you shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost done. Sorry.
Daredevil.
Yeah, one episode, unfortunately. That's it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right.
Love you.
He's, he's so funny.
Samuel, leave. Leave, Samuel.
Leave.
Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you get the idea. I love you guys.
I love you, dude. Have a good night. See about
All
Tina
right,
for me.
I will.
Bye,
All
dude.
right, bye.